multi-time Supercross motocross champion, RD Coffee owner. He's got a foundation. The guy's super busy with everything. You have Minneapolis Supercross coming up. It's Ryan Dungey. What's up, Ryan? How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
We were just talking here with RV, like the Anderson-Roxon thing. You guys didn't race like that. There was none of that between you two.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't any of that.
Like I'm sure at some point one of you could have done that. Like, somebody left the door open and
Dunge did hit me at Anaheim 2, I think, but nothing like that speed. It was like I kind of came inside, like tried to block tough blocks.
Okay, yeah.
And it was really slow, and we both fell, and I got up because I ended up laying on top of his bike, so then I was able to get up first and kind of go, But,
I don't remember that. I got to Google that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was real soft, real soft.
I was hoping you were going to hit the brakes, but that didn't happen.
So.
Yeah. Last minute attempt.
Yeah, but anyways, Ryan, we got Villopoto's take on that. Listen, again, you didn't race like that. I get it. Anderson does. Barsha does. Some guys do. I didn't see a problem with it. AMA didn't penalize Jason. They talked to him after the race. They're not stoked on that move, and I'm sure Kenny's pissed. I get that too. But to me, Ryan, and Jason Thomas and I argued about it for 15 minutes. I thought that was just an opportunity for Jason to take the inside, and there was contact, and Kenny got the short end of the stick, and that's too bad. But I don't see a problem with that. Where are you at with that, Dunge?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it wasn't. That's not how I would have gone about it. But at the same time, everybody's different. And look, he even said on the podium, like, he full on went in there and went for the takeout or try to make the pass, and they knew they were going to hit, right? But it was hard racing. I don't think it was crazy. I just think in those scenarios, it's tough. As if you're looking at the championship scenario, it's like, okay, you almost took both of you guys almost went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
He almost took himself down too. But then there's the other risk of, like, you put a hole in your case, right? The oil comes out, or you have a DNF of some sort. But sometimes you get away with it. But it looked like a pretty hard hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the real lesson is sand shouldn't be in Supercrosses. Where do you guys stand with the sand?
I don't hate sand. I mean, I think it's another element to the racing.
Okay. Dunge, what about you?
Yeah, I don't disagree with it either. I think sometimes it's nice to add a little new obstacle in the track sometimes.
Right.
Like my take on it was, okay, Kenny had to. I mean, we both raced, right? When. Hold on,
I raced too.
Well,
I raced in Manitoba.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah,
4 Manitoba titles.
Titles, that's right. Four titles. So, Kenny. I mean, I presume he knew Jason was behind him, and he went outside. And it's sand, as you know, the sand merges a lot of times like that. They end up going outside. Now, could have Jason held it inside? Probably. But like I mentioned to the two callers ago, like if Jason's bar would have been behind Kenny's bar, Jason would have went down. So looking at it on TV, like I kind of fault Kenny for either not knowing his whereabouts or leaving the door open. Now, could have Jason gone inside a little harder? Yeah, maybe he could have, but he was passing for the lead at that point.
Yeah, that's 100%. And that was one of the things when they played the replay, I thought, like, oh man, he probably shouldn't have gone outside. I mean, you're always going to make the guy, if he's going to pass, you make him go the long way around versus, at least protect your insides. I mean, that's a good read on it. But yeah, that's
you got to know, right? You got to know who's behind you. And
as racers, like you know that there's somebody behind you.
Yeah.
Like our peripheral vision when we're racing is really good.
Right.
Like
I'm always surprised when I talk to you guys after the race. Like, you guys know where somebody's gaining on you. You saw a battle for third on another lane. You guys are watching the clock, the tower. Like, you know what I mean? I'm always surprised at how much you guys are sort of aware of what's going on around you. It's amazing to me. Yeah.
And then you'll have a big old mistake in the whoops. You're like, hey, remember when you got really sideways in the whoops? And you're like, no, where was that? No, dude, you got way sideways. We seen the side panel.
Right,
and you're like, shit, man, I don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly, right. Ryan, it's been an aggressive start to the season. I mean, obviously the Kenny Anderson thing. We got Barsha on Bogle last week, right? We got Anderson on Barsha on Anderson, Marv on Mookie. I don't know. It seems, and I know from talking to the AMA guys, Dunge, they're a little concerned. This has been an aggressive start to the year. Do you think so too?
Oh, 100%. It's definitely been aggressive, and I think that my take on it is like there's a lot more guys who are closer. And when we were racing, I mean, Billo, you could probably attest to this too, but like towards the 15, 16, when there was like 6 guys who you felt like you're all up there, you're all fighting for position that first lap, especially. So it gets even more wild. Now you got 9 or 10 guys or more, and it's just so wild that first lap, and everybody's going for positions, and it's like you got to make moves, and if you don't, you're kind of left in the dust, and everybody's going to take advantage of you. Somebody's going to block past you. A bunch of guys are going to go by you. It's just like you got to fight for that position, and so I think the intensity is so much high, the pressure. These guys on the track, they're the adrenaline and just everything that they're dealing with. They're trying to, and you're nervous out there too, so you're kind of trying to make decisions clear-headed, but you're also kind of maybe there's a little bit of panic going on. But yeah, there's a lot of takeouts and such, and some maybe intentional, some not. But I think it's just that competitive where it's getting there's a lot of bar banging going on.
Yeah, I was our other co-host was supposed to be Jake Weimer here. He should be here shortly. But Ryan, that was a guy that I saw you get aggressive with. Maybe the only time I saw Dunge got aggressive on Jake. I was going to bring that up and try to make things awkward. But Anaheim, yeah, Anaheim.
Where's the replay? You put up on the TV?
I don't know if we have it. I don't even know what year. Dude, oh yeah.
I remember me and him. I went in for a hard pass on him at San Francisco, and then I ended up going down. Shows how good I am at really. That. But and then I know we got into each other at Dallas because we were fighting for a position like the last lap, but I don't remember cleaning him out.
We'll have to ask him when he gets here. Maybe we'll bring it back on the stage. I'll send it. I'll text it to you, Dudge. You guys can go over it. Yeah. No, lots to get into when it comes to this 702-586 Pulp. Got a question for Ryan Dungey on the show. Dunge, your Ryan Dungey Foundation, $60,000 you gave to St. Jude's just last week. Nice job. Congratulations. You're getting more involved with the foundation. That's something that's fairly new to you. Good job, man. It's a cause close to your heart, isn't it?
It is. No, I appreciate it. And, we launched the foundation in June last year and got off to a really good start right away. We had our first event out at Fox Raceway, which was really cool. They're a founding partner of ours, Fox is, which is awesome to have their support. But we had a great event there. Great turnout. A week later, we had another event here in Minnesota, a ride day, and also a great turnout. So that was pretty cool up at the BP Moto Ranch. And then, just really because of our founding partners, our partners, and then the donors and fundraisers, everybody involved with this, we were able to, write our beneficiaries are St. Jude and All Kids Bike, but we were able to write our first check to St. Jude for $60,000, which was really cool. And then we've actually got 5 All Kids Bike programs in 5 schools across the nation as well, just giving kids the opportunity to ride the bike. But it's been awesome. It's off to a good start. Got a great group of people behind us. Got some awesome support from everybody, which is amazing. And then, just fulfilling that mission of just creating opportunities for kids. So it's I'm really, really pleased with it.
And it's also for you, like cycling is close to your heart too. You know what I mean? Like that's something that you've always loved to do. You had your ride, of course, for years. You know what I mean? And all of that. Yeah, so this is a natural thing. And then, so Minneapolis Supercross, there can be some bikes delivered, I understand too, which is awesome.
There is.
Yeah.
2 of those All Kids Bike programs are actually here in Minnesota, which is cool. We picked kind of the cities that in terms that have built me as a rider through my amateur career. And, Minnesota, Texas, California, and Florida are the main ones. So we're going to put 2 programs in schools here in Minnesota. We're going to actually build the bikes Friday before the Supercross here, and then we'll deliver them to the schools. So it's all fun stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now I heard about these cities that kind of launched you and helped you in your career, but was it Dallas or Houston? Which one was it, and why? I lost this meaning on that. Maybe tell us why you picked the Texas one.
I just spent a lot of time in Texas.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't so much a moment. It was more just that was, we would head south, to Texas and, ride and train there during the wintertime. So that just was an area, and just got a lot of relatives and family there. I love Texas. Always enjoyed going back there. So it was also just an easy choice.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. That's super cool. I talked to Sean Brennan a little bit. So we're doing a live show, Minneapolis, Friday night. You may make it. You may not. Depends on what goes on with you. But we're going to have a live show at In Brown Brewery in Minneapolis, and we're giving some proceeds to St. Jude. So, we're also helping the show a little bit out. So that's cool. I'm stoked to be able to donate and help those guys out.
No, for sure. And I'm going to try to make that one if we got the baby coming here soon. So hopefully we can squeeze it in there. That'd be cool. It's a good brewery too.
Baby too for Dunge.
That's
RV.
right.
Yeah. So
it's coming.
Have you seen RV's kids on Instagram, Ryan?
I follow them quite a bit. They're pretty talented little guys, man.
I wouldn't go that far. Not yet. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, but I remember this was like, I don't even think they were 3, and they were like, they had this skill. Well, they were maybe 2.5, and it was, I don't remember, but you had them on Stasics, and the style and the skill, and they were jumping. I was like, holy smokes! Like, Harper's 3 almost, and then like she's not on a Stasic yet.
That's just it. Like, I feel like RV. Like, look. I am not. I'm not a parent, right? I only have a dog, so I don't know anything about kids.
Not the same, Steve.
No. But I feel like you're very aggressive with your kids. I feel like you are. Like, you're just, hey, yeah, you want to go jump that? No problem, kid.
Well, no. I mean, no, like jumping.
You have a loose parenting style.
Well, maybe loose, but not as loose as some.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not coming down on you.
No, but I'm just like right. I mean, this next generation is going to be so soft. So I'm trying to, like, I'm serious. They're going to be so soft.
Right.
So I know, like, Dunge, your dad was probably similar to mine, and my grandpa's still around now. So, like, I've heard stories, and I grew up with my grandpa, and oh, thank you, sir. And trying to, do, way more physical loving on my boys, but also be tough on them like I was raised, so they get both of it. Like, we're trying to do better than in hopes we do better. Like, oh, well, I don't want to say better than my parents, because that's not the right way to say it. But like, do be better. Change this and change that. Yeah. But there's a lot of it. It's like, that's made me or you, Dunge, who you are today because of the struggles or the battles or the hard assness of the parents. And I think that's with, like, and I have boys. I don't have a girl either. So I'm looking at it as like, push them to where, and I don't push them too hard. Like, I only bring these guys riding when they ask to go ride. Like, I'm not right now, like, it's not like, hey, we're going riding. No. We went to Supercross on Saturday. They woke up, said, or driving home, hey, can we go riding? I said, yeah, if you wake up and tell me you want to go riding again, or riding on Sunday, we'll go ride. Yeah. So that's my kind of mentality. But as, like, the discipline side of it and, like, being hard on them, like, I think being disciplined and hard on them just makes a good human and a tough person.
I agree. I think
in the long run,
I think sports is great. And Dunge, I think you believe the same thing. Like, sports competition, win, lose. I like all of that for a kid.
No, you're right, but not everybody gets a trophy. See, that's the problem with today's world. Everybody gets a trophy, and you can't do that because it raises pussies all the way to the end, and they all want a handout in the end.
Okay, all right. All right.
No, I hear you, and that too. It's like I even think with little Harper, she's a girl too. So it's, you as a dad, you want to catch them, and you don't want them to fall. You don't want they got to learn like what pain is a little bit. They can't, otherwise they're going to grow up and not have the common sense of like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like we grew up riding at a young age, and so and I think it's, and not to say that kids that ride motorcycles are better in cars. But just for example, like you're like, hey, if I crash my motorcycle going, in third gear, that really hurts.
Right.
But we also have the wind in our face and the sound and all those feelings when you're riding. When you go get behind a wheel of a car, you're in a closed environment. Like just using this as an example, and then you go, dude, I'm doing 90 miles an hour and I don't even know it, and then you wad up your car, at whatever, it's different. You have a appreciation for speed, and like, well, if I fall off this couch onto the tile, it ain't gonna feel good.
Right.
This isn't dirt.
Yeah. No, and I've seen your kids send it, so it's good. At Cherubies USA, bringing you Ryan Dungey on the show. Please check it out at Cherubies USA. So, the clip on YouTube, Dunge, is called. It's called Dungey. Hold on, where was it here?
Smashes
Dungey
Weimer.
Smashes Weimer. So we got
here it is. It's
you
on the
can't
big
see it,
screen.
Ryan, but we got on the screen. I gotta say, it's not as
Where
bad
is
as I
it?
remember. It's on YouTube. It's round 6, 2012.
It doesn't say.
So here we go.
Oh, that was Dallas. That I think that was Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
Jake's
went in-
fault.
Yeah, that wasn't even really that bad,
That
Ryan.
wasn't bad.
Yeah, I had to do something. I don't remember how it went out, but I remember either I got to put a hole in his case or my case, but something was smoking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you know what? I remember this being way worse.
Oh,
See,
so
that-
this was in the 450 class too. This
Yeah.
wasn't in the 250.
Yeah, this is 450s. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Villo, you won that night, I believe. You're right.
He's leading right now on this replay, anyways.
Yeah.
So Dungey's like, I gotta go. I gotta get going. Right. So yeah.
Oh, Weimer.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. Poor Weimer. That'd be funny if he was here though.
He's
funny
on the
here.
ground. He's on the ground.
He's on his way. Here. How's RD Coffee? How's everything going there? I just put an order in last week or 2 weeks ago. Showed up. At my
I wouldn't
door,
know.
so-
I've never tried it.
What?
Nope. Never tried it.
Dunge.
Never tried it.
Villo, I sent your wife reached out in the very beginning. I sent her a bag. Come on, man.
Oh,
You
maybe
should've
we
tried
did try it. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I need another
Couple
one.
years ago already.
Maybe we used it
No.
already.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, but no, it's going good. It's going good. I'm actually really pleased with it. We had a really busy, Christmas time, but things are slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been nice. It's been nice. We got some good reviews. Got a lot of great feedback, and it's in a really good place. We got whole bean as well as a bunch of ground options now to just make it accessible for a lot of people.
Listen,
so it's been really good.
I'm not a coffee snob guy like a lot of people are, but you gotta grind the beans. It makes a difference. You gotta get whole beans and grind them. RV, is that where you're at? Are you grinding?
Actually, currently we have an espresso,
Oh.
but we go in the fad. Like we'll go in espresso, and then we're like, I'm not really into this right now. I like the drip coffee, and we'll go back to drip,
okay.
and then all of a sudden it'll be this, and it'll be something else, and
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I don't know.
Dunge?
I mean, I like my coffee.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, you're a coffee guy, Villo. I know that.
I am, but
All right.
we fads.
Right.
I call it a fad.
Dunge, where are you at? What's your preferred system of drinking coffee right now?
I go back and forth too. I mean, I got an espresso machine, so sometimes it's that, sometimes it's drip coffee, pour over. It's kind of all dependent, like how much time you have, and I go in phases. I'll be run espresso for 2 months, and I'll be on the drip coffee program for 2 months. It's just kind of, I don't know, whatever kind of feeling at the moment.
And I like French press too.
French press
is
is too much for me. It's too strong. Too
good.
strong.
Well, that's the bean.
I don't know, man. I feel when I've had French press, it's been too.
Maybe you let it sit too long.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
Yeah, oversaturated. Don't do that.
See?
Okay. So speaking of being upset with riders and everything else, what was the angriest you two got with each other? Was there anything? I don't remember, but I mean, I'm sure privately you were both, calling each other tons of names to your teams because you guys had such a rivalry. But I don't remember. Was there one? Was there something?
I don't ever really remember.
Steel City,
Villo.
the last turn or the 2 turns to go in Steel City. Was there any words exchanged there? Anything?
Well, no, it wasn't. I mean, I was pissed that I got past the last
Right,
I mean,
right.
Yeah,
right.
you could
But-
use that one as that, nothing happened, but then you could
Right.
use Indy when I led fucking all the way till 3 laps to go, and what am I gonna say?
Right.
I got
yeah.
my ass whooped.
Yeah, he caught you. Yeah.
Which race?
Indy, where was it Indy? Indy, no.
I don't know. I thought you were talking about.
Minneapolis.
Oh,
Oh,
Mini.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
I led 18
Yeah.
laps, I think, and
That was
2 laps to go,
Dunge rode really good.
I
that
got
night.
passed in the whoops.
Yeah.
I
You know?
I heard a rumor. I don't even know if it was true or not, but like it gave me a little bit of confidence that week. I remember hearing they said you were a little under the weather, so I was like, all right, like here's my time to capitalize on this. And I don't know if you were or not.
I don't know either. I mean, I felt like I was right. I don't think I was. I think looking back, I felt like I felt pretty good. I just struggled in that one set of whoops, coming onto the flat straight across the straight there. And
God, that place was loud that night, dude.
Dude, that's one of the loudest races I've ever raced.
It was gnarly.
Yeah, it was confusing. It was almost distracting. I was just like, if you could have told everybody to quiet down, you would have.
Yeah, but like
it was awesome,
maybe Dunge, you can, now being retired for 5 years, and I think I'm coming up on 8 years or 8 years now.
Do we count your GP as racing, or do you?
I don't know. I mean, you can count it if you want. I prefer not to.
That's what
but
you
can.
You looped out.
You can.
Right,
I won't hate you. I won't.
Okay.
You can count it if you want. I did get a win, by the way. Also,
you did.
So a loop out and a win. So how you can take it. Call it even. It's a draw.
Right.
So like going back and looking at those, it's pretty cool. Like, and if you were to watch it again, like, fuck, man, like that was a hell of a race. You look back and you look at it differently now. And I've talked to, we've all talked to old timers, older, retired guys, like say, Rick Johnson or Albie or, these, Wardy, and like, oh, you'll look back and you'll how badass it was. And it is pretty cool to look back and have that, and actually have it's on, it's accessible on YouTube and things like that. And like, that was a hell of a race. Like
it was.
It was, I mean, it's and you're so right. Like, yes, you watch them on YouTube. You got everything's on YouTube today, so you can rewatch it, and it does. It gives you chills. It makes you miss it. It makes you kind of appreciate.
I think it makes you look. I think for me, I look back at it and look like, and remember or be like, God, we were really good. Like, because you live it every single day, and you train it, and you do it, and you live it, you sleep it, you breathe it.
Yeah.
And it's just like second nature, and it is what it is, and we have that mentality. It's like, fuck, we got to do this again. It's another Saturday night, and it's Monday morning again, and we got to go back and do it again, and blah, blah, blah. But then when you get some time away from it, obviously been retired for, like I said, 8 years, I think it is almost for me.
Right.
But then you're like, well, dude, we were really good.
What?
Yeah, and even all the nights you get seconds and thirds, or even every time if you didn't win, or if you're second or third, you kind of walk away from the race too, like kind of let down, like, dang it, like you're like bummed out, and you don't really soak in like how good of a night it really was.
100%. And I think and I don't know where that stems from. And I think part of that stems from us just being.
Was it the families? Was it the dads being
not when we were pros. I think just us as human beings now. Like we were expected to produce. To be at this level as kids. And as young teenagers, and it comes up. So like as personal human beings, our expectations are very high.
Yeah.
But I think the teams do a bad job on like a second and a third.
The atmosphere of the team if you lose.
Yes, a lot of times. Right. Not that like hey, we're yes, you got second. We're in it. Like this is and the way I can look at it now is like let's use Coop as an example, or the inconsistency in our sport, that we've seen since you've retired, Ryan, because you retired after me.
Yeah.
The inconsistency, and it's like, dude, you'll have a guy that goes from first to eighth to fifth to second to 10th.
Yeah.
And you have this inconsistency where me or you and, Chad, when Chad was on, like
James, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky, the consistency was so much more consistent that, it's different.
Wygan and I were just talking about this because we've seen guys indoors and out. Tomac's been close, but since you retired, Dunge, like we just took it for granted that if you were the baddest dude in Soupy, then you'd be riding 17 of those and then 12 nationals, and you'd be the baddest dude in one of those, and maybe you'd go back and forth.
Think about it. It went from Ricky to then
James, a little bit of James.
James went 24-0, so you had a stint of James, so it was Ricky, James.
I just think these guys now.
Me, Dunge, like you had 20, almost 20 years, pushing close to 20 years of like of a guy that was a contender for Supercross that you knew there was no questions that was going to be a contender, and there was no questions that he was going to be a contender outdoors. Period.
We've seen it with Eli a little bit, but Jason Anderson and Coop and a couple other guys, they just haven't been able to do it. And Wygan and I were talking, Dunge, like 29 races, indoors and out, hot weather. Like, it's really special.
Don't say 29 because at Monster Cup, Dunge would show up the same as he showed up at Anaheim 1, and I would show up the same. And MXON, the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
It was Anaheim 1 all over again. Every gate drop was the same for us.
Yeah, Dunge, it's something to look back on and admire.
Yeah, it is. And just back up to what Villa was saying, just like, you're constantly evaluating yourself. And there's no time to celebrate these wins, really. You it's 10 o'clock at night. You're going to bed. You're off to the airport. You're on to the next race. It's like you're always so forward thinking. You don't really get time to absorb like what we're talking about. Like, wow, we get to look back and really enjoy. And that's kind of what I think about, a lot of these racers. And it's a lot of the, it's like it's such a short career. Like, and then some of it ain't easy, and maybe, you feel burnt out and this and that, but at the same time, it's like, it's so short, and one day it's going to be all over, and you're going to be wishing you were back in this position, and you have plenty of time to enjoy the moment.
But my question is how do you change the mentality, or how do you change the thought process of, say, teams, because the racing's not going anywhere, so that's my question. Like, we're bred that we're, like, you win, and you're only as good as your last race.
Well, and I think it's perspective, right? And as a rider, the race team, everybody's hired to, hey, we're here to win races, and that's the expectation. And I think the rider is in the most influential position to control that nature of, how he inspires the team, how he encourages the team. Hey, good job. I think a lot of the riders look for the team to, hey, it's okay, you'll get them next weekend. But like the rider, invest back into the team. Tell your suspension guy, dude, what a great job they're doing. We're going to get it. Let's keep pushing. And but it's also a scenario where it's like, it's such a fast pace of life. I remember when we'd race the races we'd race through the year. It was like the year would go by like the blink of an eye. It would go by so fast because you're always on the go, and I think you're just always forward thinking to the next one. But you also got to keep things in perspective and soak up the moment and live in the moment too, and realize what a moment. It's hard. There's a lot of it's a tough dynamic, but it's tough. It's complex.
Let's take some calls. Can you stick with us a little bit, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take some calls. We do have a guy wanting to know if you have any plans to make cold coffee in a can, similar to Starbucks or Black.
Cold brew.
I've thought of it. I'm not quite there yet. I've always kind of just mentioned the cold brew. We have recipes online and everything like that. But make your own cold brew, that is. But maybe one day if we can get to the can, that'd be nice.
All right. Acherbys USA bringing you Ryan Dungey. Let's get to some phone calls. Of course, the lines are full. First up, what? No, they are.
Of course, the lines are full.
Well, it's Ryan Dungey on the phone. It's you in studio. These people want to talk to you guys.
Yeah, we're the big time.
Big time guys. Yeah, big time. I had Wygant here like 2 weeks ago. Who cares about Wygant?
Yeah, that's right. Who cares?
Right. Nick, go ahead. What's your question for RV and Ryan Dungey?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, thanks. Hey, so real quick, I actually flagged Atlanta, and you always think, like, you hear Dungey talk, and you always think he's a real nice guy. Him and I made eye contact on the track. He came over and talked to me for like 5 minutes. At some point, I'm like, hey, man, like, I appreciate you coming over. You don't have to talk to me, though. I don't feel obligated. And he kind of looks around. And he's like, no, I really don't have anything to do right now. And I was like, okay. So we kept talking about coffee some more. And I was like, this guy is legit.
Sure, good.
But so real quick with Baker's Factory, I know you guys probably get a lot of questions about this. Everyone's kind of been, or you guys have been there. And my question was, there are guys leaving at different times in their career, and I think I heard an interview one time with Dunge where he was saying that he actually found before he went there that he was actually maybe working almost harder to some extent. I don't know if that was maybe a more smarter, not harder type thing, but, and then you have like Tom X Dad. He's talked that you kind of have a 10-year career, like at the really tip of the spear. Guys talk about burnout there a lot. Do we see different people seem to just last there much longer or shorter, whatever? Do you think it's a part of a time in their career? Because it's not like Webb has any different responsibilities that he left, right? He still has to basically win. So why do you think people leave at different times? And, is it really burnout? Is it more that Eldon's so disciplined that no one can be on his level? Is it just Eldon in general? I mean, I know he's a great guy, so always had a question about that.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to go? Who wants to go?
Go ahead, Ryan. Dungey, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess in the beginning, I was working hard. I mean, Villopoto was winning every dang championship, so it was kind of hard to shut my mind off during the week. So I was probably doing a lot, just trying to find the confidence. But I had a lot of doubt too. I knew that like when the opportunity opened up with Eldon, I had already passed it up once. I wasn't going to do it again. So that's once that time came, it was nice. It just simplified things. It took the doubt out of my program. I knew everything that I was doing was right in line and just what I needed to be. But I mean, Eldon's program is very structured. It's good. It's very professional. It brings a lot of confidence, physically good, mentally good, the whole nine. And my whole take on it is just simply put is, I was told by Johnny O'Mara, you got 10 years to really make this thing happen before that kind of candle goes out, and right around that 10-year mark, that's when, I started feeling the effects of just of the whole, everything kind of adding up. But it wasn't necessarily Eldon. I think a lot of people, you have two options. You can get 20 years out of a 20-year career and kind of, mediocre, or you can get, 10, 11 really, really solid years. And I think, a lot of these riders, when it starts to become in the burnout and they want to keep going, and I don't think it's burnout so much. It's a tough program, but at the same time, it brings results. It's what it takes. And it's not an easy life either. You're kind of, it gets a little bit lonely. You're kind of, it's you and your wife kind of doing your thing. You have your small group of people around you. You're racing. You start to kind of question, things, but at the same, not the program, but just like, but at the same time, it's like, no, like I just always reminded myself, you hit it hard, you do the best you can. And when it's done, it's done, and you move on. And so other people have different takes on it. If they choose to leave Eldon and to get more of, more just to have more fun or enjoyment or get more out of it. And that's awesome, but we've also seen everybody who has left Eldon, it just hasn't gone. It's been mediocre results too. And that's just me speaking for what it is. I'm not.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
It's a perspective, you do anything. The way I looked at it, I had done anything to work with Eldon. I got the chance to work with Eldon. I wasn't going to, overlook that opportunity or take it for granted. And, you just, once you start winning and you start getting all these things, and then you start, you got to, stay humble. Don't get a big head, don't get arrogant, don't always think you're better. Be open to criticism, keep being open to learning. You can't shut all those doors that a lot of people do, and then it doesn't end up going really well. So that, I mean, RV, you can.
I'll go a little less political, like straight, like narrow, but.
You just fight the guy.
No, but I think that looking at it has. I don't think it has anything to do with Eldon's program. Like and I personally think that Eldon's program, Dunch, has gotten easier since me and you. I think he's had to alter
because he's gotten a revolt from guys a little bit.
Well, I think in the media's in what comes out that's what gets said. It's Eldon burning me out. It's Eldon burning me out. I disagree, because I can go back and I think like I said, I think it's gotten easier. I think he's changed up his program. I think he's done certain things, and I disagree with some, like he's pretty much all plant based now.
Yeah,
which I disagree with.
Right.
I do. I'd say now I disagree with all most plant-based other than fish. I think he's only on fish because I had a great conversation with him 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and I said, "Oh, you on this plant-based shit, And he's like, "Yeah, mate, it's good, this, that." And I say, "Yeah, well, that ain't for me." So I disagree with that, but I honestly think his training has probably gotten. I don't want to say he's gotten, soft, but he's altered his training to, because I think that I'm going to just say it. I don't think some of the guys, not all of them, some of them aren't as they don't have as thick a skin as we do or we did. Right, we're soft now, but and I'm just, this is my opinion, right? This is my opinion. So I think that he's altered his thing to the athlete.
Yeah, to try to keep these guys. Yeah.
But honestly, what really comes down into like burning guys out, in my opinion, is our schedule. And I wanted to bring up like the winning a championship, and we all celebrate, but we don't celebrate for second. Like I watched something something came across on Instagram that was in Europe, MXGP, where second place was partying and celebrating as hard and as big as first place. That's an achievement in itself, and I think that our sport has to understand that to get second in Supercross is a fucking big deal. To get to make the podium in Supercross is a big deal. Is it winning? No. Do you get the bonus check of winning? No.
Yeah.
But to be consistent enough to be second and third is a big thing. I'm sitting here. I would never want to be sitting in second and third.
I know. Kenny gets some criticism. The guy got second in both series last year.
Exactly. And even me. I'm like, oh well, second, that's great, but that is a thing that I think we need to change our thinking a little bit and be like, hey, these guys are very, very small percentage of the world that can ride one of these motorcycles and do what they do, and to be second and third in a series is huge.
I agree.
So I think it's our industry standard is too high on the side of if it's not winning, we suck. We have 32 races a year, or whatever the hell it is. If you race Motocross of Nations, you race Monster Cup. I know that's kind of gone now, but the schedule is a huge thing, I think, is what burns people out. Our minds never have a chance to actually have a break.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for the call. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Count me as surprised. Tomac is 29 Dunge right now, and you guys, both of you were long done by then, and
but he started winning a little bit later too, right?
Yep.
No, yes, no, in the 450.
Both of you left lots of money and lots of titles on the, because you were done. You felt like you accomplished it.
I don't know if it was accomplished. I think Dunge could have raced another 2 or 3 years successfully of winning, and I could have raced another 2 or 3 years potentially successfully in winning.
Yeah.
But we say that, but like the mind,
but our head wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Our heart, I think, was in it.
The mind,
but our mind wasn't in it.
Right. Let's get a couple more calls here before we let Dungey go. Tony's on 3. Tony, what's your question for Ryan Dungey?
Man, it's actually more than that, but I just got to say what an honor it is to be on the phone with both you guys, even you, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
But just to be able to see both your guys' careers as not as amateurs, but first coming on the 250s and then hanging it up. So I got to say I'm pretty happy to be on the phone with both you guys right now. So I'm going to butter you up first before I ask the question here. No, I have a Wheaties box that I've been holding on to with the hopes to get autographed. So Dunge, if you could, that'd be awesome. If not, I totally get it.
How does somebody send that to you, Ryan? Do they see you at Minneapolis or something, or what do you got to do?
Oh gosh, I would probably just at a race. What races are you going to be at?
Dunge, you don't have a peel box? Just send it to the peel box.
Yeah, I got a.
All right.
Not your address, the peel box at the UPS store. You know when you got the lock box.
He knows what a PO box is.
Well, send it there. Your local UPS guy.
Gosh, I don't know. I'd have to. I don't even have a PO box.
I know, neither do I.
You got to figure this out.
I don't have one either.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing is that I remember hearing the show and talking Villopoto talking about how once you retire, like everybody forgets about you in the sport. And I want to know how you guys, if people still forget about you, or since you guys are still doing things, and how that, how you pretty much feel about that comment, because, I went to 8-1 and I was tripping out because I saw Pike there, just standing there in the crowd and like nobody talking to him. I saw Kennard walking through, and I was excited to see these guys because these are the guys that I seen race, and it just kind of made me wonder if, like, how you guys see it, and how you guys are now post racing.
Go ahead, Billo.
I mean, look, I think that it's good. It's great that I can walk into Anaheim and not be bombarded. I can go where I want to go.
Yeah, you don't have
freely now, which is nice. I think there's, and I wasn't, and Dunge wasn't either, and I'm gonna speak for you right now, but I don't think we were very ego-driven, like people where we needed that like spotlight of like who am I, when I want to go buy a new truck, I hope you know who I am, so I get that deal, but like in the pits, it's not like so it's kind of nice to be able to walk through there and not be seen, for our kids point of view, like it'd be nice for them to be able to see what dad actually did, but for me personally, I don't think it bothers me very much. My wife might have something different to say about it, but I honestly, I don't really think, for me, like the spotlight part of it was the TV, the spotlight, the interview, things like that, other than with like Steve and certain people we knew inside the industry. But like going to do TV, going to do like the pre-show stuff, like that all stuff for me like was like almost, I guess maybe it's my mindset was more of like, God, I really got to do this again. Like I got to sit down for 2 or 3 hours, but it's part of the job,
Well, Dunge has been on the TV show doing a pit reporting job, doing a good job.
Yeah. I don't mind either. I honestly, it's just when you're racing, it's like there's a lot of buzz going around, and when you're done, it's that calms down. Which I don't care. It's just sometimes you just enjoy being at the races too and seeing everybody, and it's kind of fun just kind of cruising in.
Thanks for the call, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys, man. Enjoy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Ryan Villopoto, Ryan Dungey, brought to you by Chairbees USA. All right, Dunge, thanks for calling in, man. And again, 60K to St. Jude, Ryan Dungey Foundation. We got more coming down the road for that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congrats on that stuff. That's
Thank
really
you.
Cool.
No, I enjoyed the time with you guys here. I didn't know we were going to be on here for 45 minutes, but it's always fun.
Well, let's grab a glass of wine next time you're in Newport.
Yeah, grab some wine with RV and bring some coffee for him, because apparently.
Yeah. We got to get you set up there first and foremost.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you guys here in person here real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for calling.
All right, Dunge. Later.
All right.
See you guys.
That's Ryan Dungey, everybody. Jason Thomas coming up right next.
When can I pee?